Each of our podcasts have been different, and this one certainly is going to be different as well. We're going to talk about some of our systems, our philosophy, our principles, and we have a different guest today, Joel Elmore.
Thank you.
And notice there was kind of a similar last name. Joel's my son, my second son, and he came and joined our group about 2 years ago officially. He's, I won't disclose your age, but in his 30s. And so really he's been part of the organization since he was born because it's a family organization. I told him he couldn't work here. He had to go college and get a job elsewhere. And he did that and worked his way back here. But welcome, Joel.
Thank you. It's good to be here. It's fun.
And what career path did you choose through college and after college?
So I did electrical engineering for undergrad, and then decided I liked it so much that I would do computer engineering at Virginia Commonwealth at VCU in Richmond.
And then what kind of jobs were open to you after that?
Well, I started at a company in Harrisonburg, Power Monitors Incorporated, and worked there for several years and decided to get a new job and worked in Charlottesville under doing some cybersecurity stuff. And then eventually made my way to a company for remote work in San Diego. And I did a lot of embedded design work and computer programming for all of that. And they did these tracking devices that would go inside these cars. And so it was these edge devices that would talk to a cloud, and we would interface with cell modems and all sorts of electronics and stuff that is required in that. Is very intimate with all of that hardware and software and the whole stack. And it's just a lot of exposure in a small team, so you really get your hands dirty and you work through problems across the space that is engineering. It was a lot of fun.
So computer engineering, software engineering, and so a lot of people think that it's a big leap from software engineering to investment management, but in reality, it is not. What are some of the similarities, and what are some of the tools that you developed in the software engineering that you're able to apply in investment management?
So there is some overlap, certainly. There's also some differences. I'd say the big ones that are shared are, you're really problem solving, and ultimately that's what engineers do, is they problem solve, and you have different tools available to you across different industries. But if you identify the problem, then you're able to work it in a technical way and from also like an emotional way, and that ability to do that is really not specific to any industry, and that's where a lot of that type of mindset really helps, that engineering provides.
So we have always had a philosophy here of investing, asset allocation, diversification, and active management. And we've gotten better at being able to do that over the years as technologies have come to us. And then you really catapulted us forward when you came, because we can utilize some of the tools that LPL makes available to us. You were able to kind of analyze those and package them up and deploy different strategies for us and our clients. So if we talk about risk, how do you see the principle of risk?
So every individual has, a set amount of risk and tolerance that they'll have during that they can really, digest. And so you have to be cognizant of that, and we need to be cognizant of like drawdowns and how our clients will react in those situations. And so in an ideal scenario, you're going to have an 8% growth, and you're going to go from that across a nice even spread over the year. That's not how it always works. Typically you'll end up with a big drawdown, but then a huge spike in it. But the goal is to try to smooth that across time. And so depending on the individual's investment portfolio, we're able to curate and pick different money managers that can help get the client to their end goals in a way that they can feel confident in and are on board with. And so a lot of these models and money managers are available to us in the field. And how do you pick those, and how do you individually go in and make sure that they're doing the right thing? And so we act as like that oversight for these money managers and or mutual funds that we pick. So I've developed a lot of tooling with a lot of the help of AI and just having a good understanding of software development and being able to pull in a huge amount of information, digest it and pull it and basically distill it into something that we can deploy across our clients' portfolios.
Yep, it's great. And like I said, it's really catapulted us forward as far as our ability, and that is judge a tree by its fruit. And the fruit on our tree has been pretty good in comparison to others out there. So there's a lot of things that are going on around here. What excites you most about the direction of our firm and where we're headed?
I love that we are accepting of new technologies that are there, or at least always exploring where good tooling can take root here and be able to really guide and help our processes. I see a lot of growth here. Our staff has grown. We're able to be doing this whole podcast right now. We're adding on marketing, so our team is getting bigger, and people are getting more specialized in what they're doing, and that gives us the opportunity to really focus and lean in on what really matters to you. And everyone has their own perspective of what that is, and as a collective, we can really service our clients better as we get more mature. In terms of like long-term growth, I think the sky's the limit. We have a tremendous team, and we're adopting new technology, and we are always exploring where we can do better.
Yep. And at the end of the day, helping people, it's really fun to see. I met with a client this morning, and they are into retirement, and they said, we couldn't be where we are today without the help of our team here. And it's really makes you feel good about being able to help people over decades and decades yet to come. We can't talk specific investment advice here, but you mentioned AI, and we've utilized AI within our firm and hope to do that more. And it's not a scary thing, it's a helpful thing. Where do you see the investment markets, I guess particularly the stock market, moving forward? Are we in this, I get a question a lot, are we in a .com bubble like we were in the late 90s, or is this time different?
Oh, well, I would say this time is most certainly different. There's a lot of correlation that people like to say and pick up with when they look at today's AI and all these companies coming in, and there's all this CapEx or capital expenditure that's money being thrown at AI is very similar to what you would see in the 90s with the .com bubble, where people were trying to build this infrastructure for the internet. There were all these private companies coming in and laying fiber, and there was dark fiber that ultimately wasn't getting used. There's fiber where you have all this infrastructure and all this data links that are basically not being utilized. This is a complete opposite of what you see in AI. Every GPU that's running in a rack is being utilized. Every GPU is running at 100%. And the more compute that we bring online, the more compute that we use. It's only going to get better. And the the demand is only going to get stronger.
Yeah. It's an exciting time to be alive.
It's great.
It really is.
This is AI in general is just this most interesting and exciting tool that's been made available. It makes doing something that you would have to hire a huge team to be able to accomplish, that now you can, like a single individual can make huge contributions, can solve incredibly difficult problems, all because of what AI is enabling in the space.
I agree. It's exciting.
I'd like to add another question for you. And what is that you see AI, being used in the firm, and how is it bettering our firm?
You've done more so than anybody else in the firm, but I'm extremely excited to get to a point where we have a lot of rudimentary type work that's done by AI, and we can do higher level work for our clients. I think Marlena mentioned it in an earlier podcast, but I call it our brain trust. I'm so excited about the team that we've put together here, and it's really incredible. We have various staff meetings, and I just look around the conference table or the Zoom meeting and just marvel at the level of sophistication that we have within our organization. And if we can use that talent more at a higher level than what we are, then it just will help us to serve our clients better.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot that this whole concept of AI leveling you up, or leveling up any individual, is that it can take what you have as a fundamental base and then just amplify that by having essentially extra workers that are really good at what they do, and you can just guide them. It's in a lot of ways, it's kind of like dual programming, where you're standing over an intern, and that intern happens to be incredibly smart and incredibly capable, just needs a little bit of guidance, and you're there looking over the shoulder and making that happen. That's basically how I utilize it. That's how a lot of people are, and it's making tremendous improvements in our lives just off of what it can currently do, and it's only going to get better.
Right. And some people are scared of it, and I think they're scared because they don't understand it. But we're going to be very safe with our client data. But I think other people are fearful that they may lose their jobs to AI. I do not share that sentiment at all. But how do you feel? Should people be afraid of AI?
I don't think anyone should really be afraid of AI. We'll always have people who need to do specific tasks. AI is just going to help with those tasks. Ultimately, I think the people who are typically worried are ones who maybe are not, or settled in their day to day, and they're not growing anymore. But as long as you have a growth mindset and you're wanting to learn, there will always be a place for you. You'll always be able to contribute somewhere on the team. It's definitely so. Like AI, a lot of even engineers and software developers are like, they see all these people getting laid off, and whatnot, or that AI is going to take over. But at the end of the day, engineers or any individual, as long as you're able to solve problems and work through issues, you will always be, those skills will always be applicable for across the field.
Yep, I agree. So I appreciate you being on our team. It's really helped us a lot, and looking forward to things going forward. What do you want our listeners to remember this conversation by?
It would be great if our clients who are listening, they know that we have a great team here. We have people who are actively looking at every individual portfolio that we've constructed, making sure that you're on track for your retirement, and basically that you have somebody who is always there and in your pocket to call and reach out to.
All right, great. Thanks, everybody.
The opinions voiced in this podcast are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be suitable for you, consult the appropriate qualified professional prior to making a decision. There is no assurance that the techniques and strategies discussed are suitable for all investors or will yield positive outcomes. The purchase of certain securities may be required to affect some of the strategies. Investing involves risks, including possible loss of principal. Economic forecasts set forth may not develop as predicted, and there can be no guarantee that strategies promoted will be successful. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA, SIPC.